Good morning, boomers. Crypto Maniac Savage. It's the Champagne Crypto voice of the blockchain, the original boomer of all boomers, the crypto commander and chief. Make sure you're touching all the buttons. I see GT in the box. I'm here a little earlier than normal. I see an opening. I take a shot. Boom, 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 boom. Where my sniper's at? Colin's in the box. Welcome to the box, Colin. Down there in Australia, booming with the best of them. Sandro's here. Lazor's here. A couple of our crypto brothers that I haven't seen in a while here in the population of the chat box. Drop another bomb for you guys. Glad to see you. Today we're talking about this Bitcoin price continuing to move up, headed northwards, guys. Is it due to this US-China Trade War? We're going to be talking about that. I came across an article. We'll look at some charts. We'll talk about this new Bitcoin.com exchange. Ver and friends are launching a Bitcoin Cash exchange, basically. We'll be talking about that. And to those that are content creators, Brave has introduced Twitter tipping for the Brave browser. If you're on Twitter, now you can receive Brave tips directly if you verify yourself too. So we'll be talking about that. Shout out to GT, Sandro West, Lazor, and the rest of the pumpers. Make sure you're touching the buttons, the like, the subscribe, the post notification bell, the ding, ding. Stay tuned in to the good crypto word that we spread here daily. Boom. LTC's moving down, says Punish GT. Yeah, as Bitcoin's rising, look at the charts. As Bitcoin's rising here, this is the 24 hours. It's like, everything's in the red. It's like Bitcoin, again, it's taking off. You know how it is now. Bitcoin moves and then everything follows behind. So if Bitcoin is going to take a stab northward of 2-3%, chances are the majority of the altcoins are going to be in the red while that happens, and then they're going to have to catch up. Sandro says, yo, champ, when did you start 2017? Yeah, right before early 2017, right before we popped up in the channel, but right before things really started warming up. By late 2017, things were kabooming. Do a little crip walk. We started off with the crip walk, indeed. LTC's moving down. We talked about that, and kaboom, kaboom to Lazor. I see you guys out there. Let's talk about today's mathematics before we talk about this trade war and look further into the charts. Let me hit refresh out here, make sure we're up to date with the latest kapump. You got the market cap at 285. I need to see this at 300. And you can see now Bitcoin dominance has slightly increased, and that's due in part to this surge in Bitcoin. People they want to get into the Bitcoin train. I was talking about it to one of the boomers offline. It's like the majority of the coins haven't performed as good as Bitcoin. And that's why I've always said 50% of your crypto bag should be in the bits. And that's my opinion. And now that I'm looking at it, it's like maybe even more than 50%. If you want to get aggressive, I know some boomers out there that got 80, 90% in all bits. So it was an option, because if you check out all-time high coin index, the majority of these coins, it's like Binance has done outperformed Bitcoin in the last 2 years. Chainlink outperformed this year, and off the top, there's probably some low cap shit coins that outperform Bitcoin, but they're probably not the truth, so I don't want nothing to do with them. But the only two that really come to mind are the Linkers and Binance. But do you want to hold those for the long term compared to Bitcoin? Probably not. Bitcoin currently at 10,565, Ether at 220. So Ether's on the up and up, but it's still falling behind Bitcoin. Ripple's a trash bag. Litecoin now at $97. Will Litecoin go over $100? Will Litecoin be at least over 0.01 Satoshis? Because I gotta get rid of some of these lights, guys. At this point, I want more Bitcoin, and so should you. Bitcoin Cash at 328. Bitcoin.com, ran by Ver and friends. They're launching an exchange, and I think this is worth checking out. Binance there at $28. EOS continues to not continuing to fall in the rankings, but look, EOS is right there with Satoshi Vision, which is a garbage bag. I'm not liking how EOS is performing, to be honest with you guys. It's like ever since that big announcement that I think they overhyped it. I'm going to be honest with you. It's like they didn't deliver. A social media network that was basically a STEEM knockoff, requiring you to KYC I don't think it was a greatest hits out there, boomers. 432 there on EOS, Satoshi Vision, Garbage Bag, Stellar at 8 cents, Cardano at 5 cents, Tron at 2 cents, Monero at $84, Leo at 129. Tezos been moving. I don't know why Tezos is moving. I don't know much about Tezos. Maybe I should look further. If anybody in the box knows about, or Tezos, I think it's Tezos, let me know. And then link is there at 19, number 19 at 218. Let me check out the chat box. I see you guys dropping comments here. Zenyatta says, speaking of math, if there were no such thing as money, what coin would we use? That's the thing, you know. I mean, you could be on a barter system, perhaps. And, you know, I think that that's a whole nother economic question. Punish GT says, love your work and time you put in. I will watch later the stream. Okay, you got it. Crypto Power Series says, kaboom to the champ. Kaboom to you. Let me drop the bomb for you. Sandro says, champ doesn't live off a schedule on when something is up on the crypto world. No, I'm not really on a schedule. You know, like, you know, I mean, usually I try to come up on the same times. Recently, it's been in the early afternoons, Eastern Standard Times. But if I see a sniper opening, you know, I like to get on earlier than normal. You know, usually the mornings have been kind of tied up lately, but I have a little opening here. Why not, you know, fire, move. Sandro says, hey, champ, you still communicate with T. James? I never did. I seen him online, you know, but I never did. Lazar says, Tezos added to Coinbase, champ. Okay, there you go. So Tezos has been added to Coinbase. That's a great thing. Okay. And that's probably why the price has gone up. Okay. Captain James T. Crypto says Tezos had a huge ICO. Yeah, I remember it being like the biggest ICO at one point. And then EOS came into play. Coinbase will provide staking for Tezos on their custodial platform. Okay, so that makes sense. That's probably why. Let's look at things compared to Bitcoin. Here's the thing. You know, Bitcoin has gone up and then everything else is basically in the red. What's interesting is Satoshi Vision's up. What's up with this manipulation of Satoshi Vision? Who's really buying this? Is anybody in the box a believer here with Satoshi Vision or what? Because, you know, I don't. Tezos up 8% against Bitcoin. Everything else is in the red. Let's see if there's anything again. Ren is up. There you go. Energy is up. Look at that. A nice rise on energy. I know some people were talking about that. Grin is up. That's a Mimblewimble. There's only a few of them that are up against Bitcoin. Let's see the biggest losers today. Japan Content. This is one that's been really shilled lately. I don't know much about it. I think CryptoZilla was in the box telling us that, you know, he didn't know much about it either. Nano is down. Lambda. I'm not interested in any of these coins. I'll be honest with you. Is there any good super deals today? Holochain. I've seen that one talked about. Theta. Of course, we have that in our crypto portfolio. Something to consider. But yeah, let's talk about how this US-China trade war could have been what caused Bitcoin price to rise. Has renewed U.S.-China trade war caused Bitcoin's rise to 10.5K? Greenspan suggests, this is at a coingape.com and it's linked down below. You could see that Steve Bannon, former White House chief strategist, he's been quoted as saying, the trade war is the defining event of our time. This is history in real time. This is the fundamental why Trump is the president of the United States. Talking about this trade war between China. You know, they've been going back and forth. They haven't been able to make a deal out there. Matty Greenspan, the senior market analyst at eToro, he was quoted as saying, even though correlation does not equal causation and we still don't have enough data, it's difficult to ignore the coincidence that Bitcoin rose sharply in May and June while the U.S. and China trade tensions were at their height. Today, once again, we see the tension rising between the world's two largest economies, and Bitcoin is on a firm footing. Okay, and then Bannon was also quoted talking positively about crypto. He said, I think cryptocurrencies have a big future. I think they could be a very important part going forward, particularly in this global populist revolt, said Steve Bannon. There via this article on CoinGape if you guys want to read it in its entirety. Champ, I also mentioned Triple U. I don't know which one that is. Keep an eye on that one. Triple U. Okay. The IGA food chain in Australia has set up and begun taking Bitcoin as a payment choice. Okay, there you go. More adoption. That's a good kaboom. These coins that are invented, I find, are like corner store dollar pizza. A lot of them disappear pretty fast. Yeah, the majority of these altcoins, you know, it seems like they're not going to survive. Just like you said, you know, some of these are like dollar stores that they're, you know, they pop up and they don't end up lasting. The fact is that most new businesses, the majority of them end up failing. And the same thing carries over here to the crypto space, apparently, that the majority of these alternative coins end up failing. And that's not to say that they're nefarious or up to no good. I think just, you know, with the competition out there, you got 2,000 plus coins, and, you know, not all of them are going to deliver. There's only going to be a handful that actually survive the crypto war. Zenyatta says it works very fast, uploading music videos on chain, Twitter killer, Twitch app, immutable weather, and some other stuff. You're talking about, which one was that, Zenyatta? If you could say it again, because it came off my chat. Zenyatta was talking about baby bag of SV. Yeah, so you're talking about Satoshi SV. You know, I've seen a couple people, you know, shilling it on the forums, and they're believers, and, you know, they think that this guy's the truth. I mean, I just don't feel the energy. I'm going to tell you, I just don't feel the energy at all. It just doesn't feel, you know, and I go off the vibes a lot, and the vibes are just not there with me. So, you know, maybe I'm missing something. So, you know, sometimes you got to keep an open mind, not too open, because, you know, you can definitely damage yourself if you keep things, though. If you leave the door wide open, you know, sometimes you can receive weather damage. Larry Park says Bitcoin going over 11K soon. Hopefully. Look at this rise. Ever since yesterday, we went from about 98 to where we're at 10,589 currently, which is a nice rise. You know, I think most people were expecting, including myself, the possibility of it going under 9K. But I was checking out the charts on the 3-month. And there we go. And I, you know, identified some, what I believe are some supports here, you know, which is slightly over 88, more like 91, and some resistance that we may be witnessing soon, which could be about 12.1. You know, I think if we can crack somewhere of that resistance, this is based on the all-time high of 13.8, and really the supports that we've seen the price kind of dip to these last over the last month or so. It seems like it hasn't really gone under 9 that much during this little bull run that we've witnessed this past month or two. Lazor says, I don't think I want to spend the bits on food, though. Yeah, me neither. And I think that's why there's alternative coins that, you know, like Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and others that, you know, others may consider. I'm looking at Bitcoin more like, you know, hold it. I don't want to spend it. I agree. Rafterman's here. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. Lazor says, Craig Wright lost all his credibility since he couldn't prove the ownership of the original wallets. Yeah, I think that his energy is just not something I'm vibing with, and you know, I at this point I need to see some proof. I don't want to, you know, I'm not taking anybody on their good word. I want to see some proof. Let's check out what CoinGape's saying about this cross over 10K. It's moving towards the predicted 42K mark? ? You know, there's some wild predictions still for 2019. People are thinking it's like I seen 42. I think this article talks about someone else saying 50,000. Let's see here. I got this one linked down below as well if you guys want to check it out. Recently in May, Delphi Digital released a report in which it followed a claim from Pantera CEO Dan Moorhead that there were chances that Bitcoin might reach 42,000 by the end of the year 2019. This was a prediction which showed a reflection of a set of both analytical and historical data. Okay, so let me see this Delphi Digital report. You can link to it via that article. Let me see how this looks. And they got a link on Twitter. And, you know, I'm not using Twitter. So for those Twitter maniacs, so we'll be talking about Brave on Twitter too in just a moment. Also, earlier this week, Matty Greenspan, senior analyst at eToro, we just mentioned him in the last article, a senior analyst at eToro related historical data in which the most recent Fed cut would most likely cause investors to spend more money on buying cryptos, particularly Bitcoin. Okay. A recent analysis on CNBC also predicted that Bitcoin might reach $55,000 by the end of 2019. Okay, so, and when CNBC and the major outlets start saying crazy stuff like that, I don't know if I buy it. Kaboom to Rafterman. He just dropped me $5 here in the population of the chat box. Thank you so much, Rafterman. I appreciate you. It's nice to see you back. Have been in a truck without YouTube availability. Good to be back. Kaboom. Indeed, good to be back. It's been a while since we've seen you. I remember you speaking about driving a truck out there, and it's nice to see you back in the box. I appreciate the gratuity, and stay strong out there, Rafterman. Welcome back. Sandro says, geez, and we just get to 20K first. Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel with some of these wild predictions. And I mean, we may very well get there, okay, to 40, 50, 100K. People are saying millions of dollars. And, I think it's all a possibility, but I just want to get to 20K. Like I've been saying for almost over a year now, I want to see $1 trillion market cap for all of crypto, okay, which could put Bitcoin around 30,000. Kaboom to Steam Leo. He says, what's up, brother? Welcome back to the box, Steam. Zenyatta says, Boomer Chads hold all 3 forks just in case. Yeah, I never ended up holding the cash fork, and since I never held the cash fork, I didn't get the SV fork. But, I seen some boomers out there on the Chan talking about, holding this SV, which, I'm not a believer. I'm going to be honest. I haven't been convinced as of late. If you ask the champ. So Bitcoin.com, talking about the forks of Bitcoin. Bitcoin.com, which is owned by Roger Ver, is my understanding. One of the gentlemen behind Bitcoin Cash, the fork of Bitcoin, claiming to be more towards Satoshi's vision. They are launching their own exchange. Okay, they're launching their own exchange out there. According to a PR Newswire report, Bitcoin.com plans to launch an exchange for cryptocurrency trading on September the 2nd. It's promised that from the launch moment, more than 50 trading pairs will be available, and subsequently, the trading of SLP tokens will be added. Okay, and you could see this short video from Ver himself. Let me go ahead and, why not play it?
Hi everyone, today is August 1st, 2019, and I have some really exciting news for everyone. I've been waiting a long time to be able to tell you all about it, but today is the official announcement. Bitcoin.com is launching our very own exchange. That's right, you'll be able to buy and sell Bitcoin Cash as the base pair against every sort of other cryptocurrency, so that you'll be able to deposit traditional fiat, dollars, euros, yen, all that sort of stuff. Maybe not yen, we'll see. We're going to plug right into the traditional banking network, so you'll be able to deposit and withdraw fiat, deposit and withdraw cryptocurrencies. But the really big news is that Bitcoin Cash will be the base pair that everything else can be traded against. So if you've been wanting to trade Bitcoin Cash against some other altcoin, you'll be able to do that on our exchange now. You can sign up today and give us your email and get the information about that. We're now.
So yeah, let me end it at that. I'm not going to play a 2-minute video, but you heard it from him himself. There's going to be an exchange here directly on Bitcoin.com. Well, how will this impact the price of Bitcoin, and how will that impact the price of Bitcoin Cash? It's interesting that they're doing that. Bitcoin.com is a strong domain, especially for newbies that don't know what Bitcoin is. Yo, champ, check out the new Willy Woo chart. Bitcoin difficulty ribbon looks very bullish and signals we are actually just beginning the bull run, says Tyler D. I've heard all kinds of things that, the next phase is coming next year and that we're about to boom this year. I've heard 50,000, 40,000. At this point, anything over 10K is looking good because, we started off the year at 3,000 and, I've been saying I thought we were going to close just under 10,000 at the end of 2019. So, anything above that, I'm feeling good. I'm really good. If Definitely, I think a kapump will come by 2020. Bitcoin Cash is just as fake as Ripple, says Tyler D. I don't know if, I wouldn't compare it to Ripple, slow down, I understand that some people don't like Bitcoin Cash, and that's cool, but, comparing it to Ripple, I don't know, Ripple's stinky. Ripple's really stinky. Sandro says, but will that exchange disappear like Quadrica? I don't know. And, I'm not crazy about, jumping on the exchange right now. I'm not really a swing trader that, I don't day trade like that. I do a couple swing trades here and there, but I'm more of a hodler. You know how I like to pick my gunners and find the ones and hold them for a while, So, that's what it is. Lazor says, I saw that nice indicator. Wright says, wink, wink, so cheap at the moment, 200 profit, easy. I don't know which one you're talking about, but I still think that the bits, the bits are at a good price. I wouldn't be, I never like to buy when things surge into the green. So, it's every time I see blood when I'm interested. And we've talked about that several times. Let's talk about Twitter on Brave on Twitter. You know how I feel about the Brave browser, guys. Download the Brave browser, start earning BAT tokens. I'm going to say it in all my broadcasts. If you're not using a crypto-friendly application, you got to ask yourself, what are you doing? You got to, get the Brave browser right now. Download it. Works just like Chrome. Okay, and it allows you to block ads, and if you choose to see ads, you'll be rewarded some BAT tokens. And then from there, you could tip your favorite content creators. You could tip websites, you could tip YouTubers, including the Champ, and now you could tip people on Twitter via this browser. People on Twitter that verify themselves. So I came across this article. There it is. Basic Attention Token says, today we're announcing a new blockchain-based digital advertising platform based on Basic Attention Token. And now, so on the tweet, if you've downloaded the Brave browser and you're on Twitter with the Brave browser, this little icon will come up and allow you to tip those that are on Twitter who have verified themselves as verified content creators. And you could do that also with the desktop on a website. So let's say cryptobriefing.com, let's say if you wanted to send them a tip or send the Champ a tip or whatever, you click right here next to the URL and you can send a tip. So you could send a tip directly to them. You could do the same thing for YouTubers such as myself. So this is big, I think, for Twitter. I mean, there's a lot more people on Twitter than there is on YouTube. I think there's more people tweeting than there are making videos. So that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing, making it real easy to tip people. I like the BAT token. I like the Brave browser. I think this is another example of a application that is actually doing something, that's actually generating revenue, that's actually functional, that's working, that has users, that's being, has also a community as well. Ripple just added 400 million to the supply, and the community think that's a good thing. Yeah, it's highly inflated, and they can keep printing up Ripples out of nowhere. You can't even mine it. If the banks fall, Ripple falls, I don't want to be at their mercy. I understand that. Tyler D says, Lazor, there's also a lot of sheep in this world. No help for them. You know the deal. Dame says, just the tip. Okay. Lazor says that's what she said. All right, Sandro said that's what she said. You guys are funny. All right, guys, I'll take a few more comments and questions before I go ahead and end the broadcast. I've been trying to do these streams more closer to 30 minutes. I don't think it's changed much on the algos. In fact, I think there's a few less views, maybe like on average of like 10, 30, 40 less views than the ones that were at 45 minutes. So maybe I'll start doing longer streams first, but I'm testing things out. Dame says Ripple's for punks. You know how I feel about Ripple. Glorified database. I want nothing to do with it. Check out the articles I have linked down below. It looks like this trade war could be sparking, the price rise in Bitcoin. The Asians are big on cryptos, including Koreans as well. And, there's a lot of mining power in China. And if their currency has been devalued, some are saying that they may choose to store their value on Bitcoin. And again, you see this gentleman, Maddie Greenspan, says that there's no, isn't it a coincidence that Bitcoin rose sharply in May and June while the U.S. and China trade tensions were at their height? It is. And even Steve Bannon is talking about positively about crypto. So check that out. You can also check this out as well. More news about Bitcoin crossing 10K. This Fed cut, guys, is historical, and basically it makes money cheaper. So, you know, people could just take that money and buy more bits. It's just there's more money to buy Bitcoin now, if you can think about it like that. You can also check out this article about Bitcoin.com launching their own exchange. It has Roger Ver's video talking about that. I think this is interesting, but you know, I'm not crazy about it. Being that I'm not a trader like that, so it's not like I need to be on all these exchanges. And then finally, Brave introducing Twitter tipping. So if you're on Twitter, you can verify yourself as a creator, and people can send you BAT directly through the browser, which I think is cool. Bruno's here. He says, shout out to the boomers. Welcome back, Bruno. Colin says, my son is a pro poker player. Tells me Bitcoin is huge within the poker community. One of his plays is on BTC poker site. My son sent me down the rabbit hole. Yeah, there's plenty of gambling. I think that's the number one application right now for, or one of the top applications for cryptocurrency is these gambling sites. You know, there's a lot of them, especially like on Tron. The Tron network supports a lot of different gambling. There's a lot of them on Ether and EOS as well. Actually, let me pull up DApp Radar. And you can see DApp Radar is ranking some of the top DApps. You know, the first two dApps here, Endless Game on IOST and on EOS. Those are gambling dApps. Blue Bet gambling. EOS Dice is another gambling. This one's really popular. Wink, XTAP. So you can see the top 10 dApps right now, the majority are gambling type sites. And, you know, it's kind of a shame. You know, I would like to see more decentralized finance and other things aside from gambling, but it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. And I don't think it's going to go away. And it does add to adoption. So you just got to be careful, you know, with gambling. So you got games and gambling right now these four categories seems to be leading the charges for what people are actually using these applications for. Games, gambling, exchanges, and marketplaces. You can see Decentraland is listed as a marketplace. Interesting. Yeah, check out DApp Radar along with State of the dApps. We have plenty of videos talking about that as well. We now have some data showing inflation's fueling BTC. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. It's just there's more money. Now there's extra money. They're pumping more money out there. There's more money to use to buy Bitcoin. Does Elon Musk ever speak about Bitcoin? Yeah, he's talked about Bitcoin, and I think he's talked about Ether as well. I think that's the one he's talked about more. Dame says inflation's a lot worse than it's being reported. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, I mean, we've mentioned this already in the past couple streams. Not even McDonald's has a dollar menu anymore. That's because inflation is worse than being reported. You know, the dollar doesn't even buy you what it used to. Ronald McDonald doesn't even want the dollar anymore. So that's what's going on. That's the theme of the week. Ronald does not want the dollar. There's no more dollar menu at McDonald's, guys. Lazor says, not a pump, but the Lowly app is getting some traction. I've used it a few times. I've heard about it, but I don't know much about that. CryptoZilla says, Elon Musk said he liked the meme coin Dogecoin, but he praised Bitcoin in the past. Right, he did mention Dogecoin as well, but I know he did tweet about Ether at one point. Crypto should be the official currency on Mars, says Sandro. All right, Colin says, yes, need more general adoption. Good night, everyone. Thanks, champ. All right, Colin, nice to see you, and I'm glad that you made it here to the live stream. Keep pumping out there. Kaboom. Shout out to Colin, Sandro, CryptoZilla, Lazor, Dame, and the rest of the crypto maniacs, savages. I was on a little early today. I saw a little opening, had some free time here, a moment of free time. Let me just go ahead and spread that good news. Spread that good news. Things are looking better than expected. I told you guys, I always thought that the year would end slightly under 10K. I was at like 9,000, like just under 10K. So anything over 10K here in 2019 is a thumbs up for the champ. I do expect a major cup pump to happen in 2020, although you have those that are saying it's going to happen this year. So if it happens sooner than expected, I mean, give it to me. Dame says, your thoughts on KMD. That's Komodo. He's saying it's currently in the toilet. Yeah, it's just like so many of the other altcoins. It's one that, people talked about and they liked the idea and jumped on the train. But I don't know if it's going to stay floating. That's why I keep saying to everybody, be careful, tread lightly. And we've learned here that the majority of the alternative coins don't perform as well as Bitcoin does over time. I said this at the beginning of the broadcast. In the past couple of years, I think the only coin that's really outperformed Bitcoin that's like a blue chipper is Binance. And then this past year is Chainlink. But other than those, all the other like 2,000 of the majority of those 2,000 coins that you see on CoinMarketCap haven't done better than Bitcoin over time. So, you're better off just holding the bits at this point. So my thoughts on KMD is that I don't have anything bad to say about it, but it certainly doesn't seem like it's better than holding than Bitcoin. DCAD for me says Rafterman, dollar cost averaging. There you go. Too bad it wasn't on Monday at the beginning of the week. You would have got it under 10K, but it's okay. Stick to your plan. Maybe if you buy today, hopefully it goes up to over 11K by the end of the day and you'll feel good about the buy, Again, nobody knows, that's why I always say in all my broadcasts, the champ is not your crypto advisor. Okay. I'm not anybody's crypto daddy out here. So you got to make your own movements, but it's definitely looking good from this side. I think that the promise, the bits are showing tremendous promise. Kapump, bro. Indeed, guys. On that note, I'm out of here. I don't want to go too much over 30 minutes, guys. Stay strong out there. I'll be back tomorrow with the good crypto word. Shout out to all the boomers in the box. It's the voice of the blockchain. Satoshi's big cousin, cryptography's finest, Champagne Crypto. Thanks for tuning in.